Hello, everyone. This is War in the Pacific Admiral Edition, my game, play by email game against TF1377. And he's still unloading, of course. So his, um, I don't know if the right word is escorts, but whatever's in this task force that's unloading is supporting the cargo ships. Okay, and Makassar, yeah. Sorry, for a second I thought it was all of a sudden a different base, but no, we're same thing. All right, the I-4 is still out here. I thought we got some good hits on it, but anyways, apparently not good enough, and still 100% faulty rate on our Mark 14. I mean, if I were the Japanese at this point, I wouldn't even worry about the American subs. Unless it's the electric S-boats. All right, the K-10. The K-10 was targeted before it could do anything. The Japanese, though, apparently, once the K-10 dives deep, the Japanese don't find. Hmm. All right, some more shore bombardment here. All right, the I-169 is still here at Pearl Harbor. So our patrol boats are trying to chase it away, or hey, why not sink it while we're at it? No good hits yet. Making the crew nervous maybe, but otherwise nothing, no effect. All right, the crewant whiffs, and the escorts. Um, so this is shallow, so the Type 95 can reach, but can't dive deep enough. And we took some damage. We'll probably I may look at it and take it back to base. We'll see what the damage is. It may be light damage, it may not. All right, we're in the air phase now, everyone. Checking out some submarine patrols, potential hits there, potential hits. Okay, so now he's looking at the last base we have here at Mindanao, Zamboanga. All right, and I decided to bomb without a sweep this time, I think, because I wanted to rest our planes and our pilots. So we're hitting this base without. Now you can see not great hits here. We are bombing in the rain, but again, he will have to fix this base and bring in supplies if we keep hitting these supplies. So not bad. I may put a pause on that bombing raid, though, when I look at the aircraft, if they're um, fatigued or something, maybe we'll take a break. All right, our Dauntless carrier-based Dauntless is supposedly spotted something, but it's You confirm. All right, here we go. We're sweeping, and let's see if we can shoot down some zeros, defending Kuma. Now, what I'm doing is a sweep first. Next turn, we'll sweep again, and we'll bomb. I did put the bombers here, but I decided to give them one turn to get the to get the pig down, and we'll bomb next turn. I promise. Also, I wanted to give our fighters a chance to sweep Kumak a bit, clear it up. We'll clear it one more turn, and yeah, I think it'll be interesting. All right, so we lost 11, maybe not shot down, but maybe returned. It looks like it looks like he lost none, we lost three. The problem is all of our pilots that we lose in this raid will be lost, so that is unfortunate. Or there's a high probability of that. Okay, we're sweeping again. This time he doesn't have as much on cap because sweeping, wears him out. Now the problem is he could replace these zeros next turn. So we'll see. We'll find out, right? But I'm gonna push through here. We're getting some kills, so that's good. This time we only lost three. And according to this, no, none. Maybe they all flew back, but I'm guessing we lost some pilots, some airplanes. All right, this time this cargo ship fired on its own in its own defense. We did not use these bases enough, so they're probably going to be carrying quite a bit of fuel still. All right, now we're in the land phase, and here he's bombarding us at Lafoa, as has become custom, two disabled squads for the Japanese. Another bombardment here at Sucien. Nothing doing. At least no tangible evidence. All right, deliberate attack at Makassar. This, yeah, cakewalk. Will we retreat or are we surrendering? Retreating. What's the point? All right, so it's fine. It's funny, but now he'll have to chase us or let us die out of supply. We did lose that B-25C, but we got the rest of our bombers out. So that's good. Our we moved them back here and they didn't bomb or do anything up here. I'm not sure if it was bad weather. I didn't notice. But we'll check also range and some other factors, see what happened there. Um, and actually maybe I rethought it and decided to let him rest one turn. I don't know 100%. We'll take a look at that after the action. But it wasn't too bad. I mean, like, okay, destroyed, that's never good. None of this report looks great, but we did beat him up a bit. Disabled, comes back. Two destroyed, and these may take some turns plus some supply. Although it's possible he captured some supply here. But anyway, now we're bombarding him in return. See what happens here. No damage to us this time. We're disabling more items this time around. So we'll take it. I guess that's the turn. We got some expansions. That's always appreciated. But again, another quiet turn. Another reason I'm okay using those P-39s for those sweeps is because we have plenty of airframes, so we can just push them back into onto the base and keep going. So it's not as bad as if we use P40s or even P400s. So I'm okay with that. I don't want to lose any pilots, and I'd rather not lose any airframes, but what are you gonna do? I'll be right back here. All right, just looking here. Looks like we're well on our way to get around these subs up to Hilo. And here's our first troops arriving. They will get here next turn. We're still unloading though, so we're taking up dock space here. This one can be undocked. Well, no, because he's supposed to now load resources. So we'll just see the status when we get here next turn with our transports. And if we have to, we'll switch around who's docked so we can get those troops on the ground. These guys are very slowly traveling, and it looks like they are making some. They only made one hex headway, but I think that was because of the ops loss that they had here, or whatever that number is. I wouldn't say loss, but just slowed them down with that refueling maneuver. But but yeah, 41 hexes to go. That may be a while, but that's okay. Again, there's no rush. And these guys, again, are on pace to get there. Looks like a week, I said last time. So they're still on pace 6 days. It looks like it's the same pace that I thought. Now, this jumped up to 35 last turn, and now it's 34. So it looks like we got some repairs um, en route. So that's pretty cool. And so I just wanted to check those two things. And these guys are still plugging away. It's possible it will take exactly 3 turns because of the speed. So that's fine. What I might do is if this is fully unloaded, not yet, I'm just gonna wait. There's no rush. As soon as this is fully unloaded, I will start picking up the 160th. So because I just as soon have these guys here unloading while we start loading. So that's okay. All right, scanning down here. I believe these are reinforcement. No. Okay, this is again those air units that are heading to Pago Pago. Still debating what I'm going to do with them when they get there, but I will have a decision made by the time they get there. Let's see. Our carriers have not moved very far. Oh, I remember. I knew they were going to be roughly in this area, and he hasn't spotted them, so that's good. He doesn't know they moved east. So we're heading back to base. Um, we'll be there again. I would say 96. I would say roughly 11 days. So that's doable. 11 to 12 if they start slowing down due to other factors. Again, that's okay. We got our aircraft switched to naval attack only, so they wouldn't give away the position with a bombing raid. All right, so we know now he has some fighters. It looks like 11. Who knows if that's correct or not. We did, however, do recon, and we have a detection level of 3 of 4. And the let's just do fatigue because I'm sure they're at the top. Okay, this group got chewed up. We will flip it back to, you're not going to go again for sure. We'll flip it back to, oh, only 2 pilots lost. That's amazing. So we'll take a look at that here in a minute. I may put it on some level of, well, yeah, some level of patrol, maybe 50, and just because if we look at the fatigue, some of them aren't too bad. So actually, maybe I'll drop it a couple more. Hopefully they use lower fatigue planes and lower fatigue pilots. Plus, they're just going to fly, oops, they're going to fly right overhead, so that should be good. These guys did not get very fatigued, and we only lost two planes, and they're just damaged. So I may let this group sweep again and let this one sweep with them. I'm nervous about this. Maybe I'll take a lower fatigue one as well. Um, but we're going to recon it again, and these B-17s will go. We're going to go ahead and airfield attack. So let's set all. B-26s, I'm going to keep a recon there, I think. So let's see. Especially the turn we're bombing. Because if they can, I'm wondering if I should recon this. It's interesting. I wonder if as it flies over recon, the bombardment isn't that effective anyway. I'm not too worried about reconning that. But these LB-30s, now we have all eight. Because we've upgraded Brisbane to level 5, this should fly with full complement and hopefully, and it will certainly be carrying full load. So this may be pretty significant raid. Let's take a look here too. We got clear sky. If that's the current turn, that's going to be amazing. So we're going to do it, and but we're going to sweep also, like I said, maybe take these P-39s. It appears the P-39s, maybe we should try for a P-40 group. I mean P-400. And because comparing the aircraft, 17 versus, I know there's probably there's an easier way to do this, but 17 versus 17. So the maneuver modifier is the same. So let's look at our gun rating. So 19-1, 32-18. Whoops, aircraft data. 21, 32, 18. Now the 20 is at this band, so they're really more or less identical. So the next thing is I got 8 sitting here in the pool, whereas I have, if I grab one of these P-39s, like this one, let's say, got 36. So I will send this one, and let's take that cap off because otherwise they won't fly. We'll sweep it again. Also, an interesting thing, I don't know if I've shared it, but we have this secret weapon is gonna bombard direct here. Will it get there? Um, it looks like a better route instead of circling around here. It'll pop up here and then hit this. So that's 15. I'm gonna say that's roughly 2 turns. That's cool. It'll get up here, let's say roughly in this area, or maybe because it might get to a position more closer to here for the rush. So what we'll do is next turn, if it still looks clear, no KB in the area, we'll let it go. Um, Because, again, really what we're doing is we're trying to beat up the base. I know we won't necessarily target his troops very much, but we'll beat up the base, and whatever planes are still sitting here should be also beat up, hopefully. So, he's bombarded us here. He for sure bombarded us here at the beginning. So we're going to just, like, get him back there. Now, I did want to come back up here Of course, Baker we moved on from. It still looks like the same amount of damage, but that could just be from old news. He could be repairing it just fine. But I wanted to look here, okay? So we did do recon over here, but it looks like we know nothing more than we knew. Well, where's the detection level? Let's look here. I don't know what the detection level is after all, but he has supposedly, one unit with 1,560 troops in it. So let's I'm gonna flip this. So it's the recon. Here it is. Let's go ahead and stand down. I mean, they're not very fatigued, so we could. But again, the main thing for me is I don't want to fatigue uh planes. But we'll just say, okay, just stay here and train a bit. You will go. And we'll also do 50% rest. This will be maybe three planes we'll scout instead of just two last turn. And so that'll be a little bit better information. Let's get this up. Um, that'll be even better information, hopefully. But again, what I'm looking for is for this to get repaired up. Let's see, when is this going to be? So we got 4 days for that. We're not in a rush to bomb. We're not in a rush to bomb Johnston Island. This is just us scoping out what we got here. One aircraft will be ready next turn, and then 2 turns we'll have a second one. So possibly in 4 days, when this is when this is repaired and these two are repaired, we can go with a rate of 13, 17 bombers and bomb Johnston Island. But again, we can follow it up with bombardment, depending on what he has here. If he has scout planes, maybe that's fine too. But we'll certainly be finding out something soon. So speaking of which, let's look at our bombardment group. So far, we've got a couple of battleships, and I decided let's take it's slow, but the battleships are as well. The gun rating on this isn't too bad, and it wouldn't hurt to just get some 4 inch. This has 4 inch. No, 6 inch. That's right. 6 inch shots into the base too from that Charleston. These patrol gunboats are not that amazing for to use elsewhere, so let's put them to use here, I think. All right, let's. So we've looked at the South Pacific here at New Caledonia. Uh, I'm sending some transports from Sydney. We're gonna go here to Noumea, and we're gonna do this stuff. I don't know how it's gonna look when we get to this action. It may be that KB shows up and we have to cancel again, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna try. Um, we had some transport. Here it is. So these guys came here to refuel, and they were supposed to head, quote unquote, back to Luganville, but they haven't. Not sure why they didn't fuel or anything, but let's hit return to Luganville. It will require 34 of the fuel that we have, 34 hexes worth of fuel. Um, we have quite a bit of fuel here. Not a, you know, not overwhelmingly a lot, but let's just um, let's just do a full refuel. I'd rather do a full refuel at hmm. Maybe we'll do a full refuel at Noumea. I think I think Pago Pago is a really great base to pick up fuel and to unload. So I'm gonna turn this back off actually. We can refuel when we get to oh, he's unloading supplies here. That's why. So we'll just keep it here. That's fine. It'll turn around and go back. Well, actually, let me look at the routing. I wanted to look at that. Okay, good. We're gonna slink under the Samoa, under the British Samoa, or I don't know what these are called. I see they're New Zealand bases, but anyway, we're gonna slink under these two islands here instead of going this way. I was worried we'd go this way, and there's a submarine, I believe, perched right here. So let's dock. They'll unload hopefully even quicker and then be on their way to Luganville. So, but for now, just for safety, we'll say go ahead and stay there, dock, unload, and then be on your way back to Luganville. Because the goal here is to go back, pick up some troops that are destined for Noumea. Especially one thing I want to get back here is the amphibious corps. That will help get us HQ. And really, I don't want all these guys here. I mean, surely I technically want them here, but they're not going to be used to me here if they are destroyed, if he attacks Luganville and destroys them. I'm going to set these artillery to Lafoa. We'll get them there eventually, and we're okay with a small battalion here. This base force we want to keep here for now. We'll eventually want to get all this stuff off. This guy's going back to Noumea. We're going to create the Americal Division. Um, well, what am I looking at? Well, these guys, that's fine. They can help defend this. The USN base force, that's fine. The Marine Regiment or Engineer Regiment, USMC Parachute Battalion. We're going to bring them back because, again, they're more useful to me alive than dead. Construction Regiment, we're going to keep them here for now. These guys are destined for Ndeni, and the 8th Marine Regiment will stay here, and this guy will go back. So that's that looks fine. We'll pick up the guys that are supposed to go back to New Caledonia one way or another, whether it's this fleet, this task force coming up, or this task force coming back. All right, I need to be kind of briefer this time, but we don't have a lot more to talk about down here. And we bombed Buna one more time. Let's take a look again, our B-17s, and how fatigued they are. They seem to be in good condition. Our pilots, though, um, aren't really heavily fatigued, but 10 and 15, we could give them a break. Also, let's take a quick look here. We still don't know the weather, but that's fine. We'll take a break. So we'll just stand down this time. We can do training want to later. I'd rather let the airframes and the pilots just take a day off. So what do I want to do with this? And especially the E's are going to get more fatigued, the planes for sure, because they're at the very end of the normal radius. So they're going to find themselves more run down. So take a break, get these airframes back up, maybe in a turn. We'll see. All right, the invasion occurred. They destroyed, well, they took the base. What did we do here? Let's take a look. So we did put them on training after all, and I'm not sure why or why especially all this fatigue. And I think that's why I decided to do it is because of the fatigue. I'm just gonna say stand down, people. And maybe we'll put them on naval attack next turn. I should have done stand down last turn. I don't know what I was thinking. It's possible I was thinking that they would. I should have pulled out some of these supplies by telling them, "Hey, we need a bunch of supplies here and here," but I wasn't thinking, obviously. So, but I should have put these guys on stand down. I guess I was assuming if they flew zero hexes in training, that would help in the fatigue, but clearly not. So these guys still have some elements in them. They're gonna die from the lack of supplies, but it's better to be possibly it's better to be in a base. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just stay here. Because if there's no supplies at any of these bases, then we can get some. This is decent terrain. Rough. Well, clear is bad. Rough is better. Well, we could technically sit here, but this is best because if he wants to take some of these other bases and ignore us, as long as these guys are still alive, they'll be blocking natural movements of. No, that's not even true. It'll come up this road. So this is 100% pointless. I I'll think I'm gonna move. And this is probably just altogether pointless. We're gonna move where it's the roughest, so the best defensive terrain. If he ever finds us, if we're still alive, he can try to destroy us there. This unit is totally dead, the one that was up here. It's just gone. Um, I guess that's it. I'm still going long, but and he still has this cover force. I'm gonna assume. I don't have good eyes on it, but because there's two task forces here, I'm guessing one of them is the surface cover force that was going to be that I didn't want to take on, and that looks like it. Um, So again, another turn with no activity here. We did spot that he has nothing. I'm going to look at this detection. I'm going to take this to mean he has no fighters here. Now he could long range cap it, and that's fine, but I'm going to put these guys. Yeah, I'm going to have to disband this very soon, but in the meantime, we'll take advantage that we still have them. We're going to look at this base again. Or this group because I don't want to lose sight of them. But we're gonna take this bomber group. We're gonna hit this as again. It's well, okay. So we do not we because we're operating out of a smaller base than optimal. We're not going to be having full load. That's okay. We also I mean we'll do what we can with this. At least it's in range, so we're fine. Yeah, we'll hit this base, and because it looks like he's building it up for future use, we're gonna take advantage. All right, aviation support. I wonder if I can get a small bomber group. I don't really have one. Guess I have these Fs, but I think they're more like a fighter type of thing. Although they carry bombs, surely, right? Just four 40-pound bombs. It's not gonna be anything. So we're unfortunately we don't. I could split up some of these squadrons, get a couple of elements out here. These are for 250-pound bombs. Also, what do we carry with these Plenum fours? Also for 250-pound bombs. So I may move I may split up these groups, divide it. Well, is that an option? I didn't double check. Yeah, I could divide it and put some elements out here like flying over because this base is 3, this base is 3. Actually, I could also fit 7 bombers here. So, and that base is would be able to operate at 100% efficiency for our bombers. Something I'll look at that, but and maybe finagle some operation out of it. But anyway, all right. Yeah, China is very quiet still. I don't see any movements. Of course, there's always the fog of war, but what I see is nothing, and he's bombarding us here. We bumped it very little up to 20%. So this will not get up to 2 before he attacks again. I'm certain of that. Okay, that's that. We've pulled out of this hex here completely and are safely back at our base, and that's fine. There's no reason to stick our neck out beyond what we're comfortable with. So, and I was uncomfortable with that. If he had one division and one regiment, or one division and something else smaller than a division, I would have tried an attack. But two divisions, and again, these guys are professional, experienced veterans that could have tore us up with ×2 terrain. So it wasn't worth trying. All right, I think I'm wrapping it up here. If I'm certain I missed something to cover, well, I did want to say one more thing very quickly. I think he bombed this, which indicates this is next on his agenda. So we'll see what comes of that, and how quickly it is on his timetable. But until next time, take care. Have a good rest of your day. We'll revisit this next turn when we talk about the March 26th turn resolution. Have a good one.